Unless you've been in a coma or living in a cave, by now you've all seen the explosive video, and I mean that literally, of United's Flight 328 engine explosion, which rained down engine parts all over a Denver suburb. But did you know that on the same day 5,000 miles away in the Netherlands, a long-tail Aviation Boeing 747-400 freighter also suffered a catastrophic uncontained engine failure during takeoff that also rained down engine parts and fan blades all over the nether regions below? Thankfully, nobody was killed in either event. However, there were some injuries in the Netherlands. So what do these two incidents have in common, other than the fact that they were both Boeing aircraft? We talk about it next on Maximus. Okay, let me get this out of the way right out of the gate because I can already see the comments flooding in. Yes, I know the Pratt & Whitney 4077 engine is specific to the 777 only, thus the number 4077. The 4077 was used on the 777-200 and 300 models until 1999, when Boeing awarded General Electric an exclusive contract to supply the monster GE90 engines, eventually phasing out the 4000 series. That's why so few 777s have them today. However, the core of the engines is the 4000 series, which also powers the Airbus A300, the A310, the 747-400, the 767-200, and the MD-11. So with that disclaimer out of the way, greetings everybody, Maximus here. I hope you're all doing well wherever you may be all around this great big world of ours. So a quick recap for those of you just coming out of your coma. Glad to hear you're feeling better. United Airlines Flight 328, a Boeing 777, suffered a catastrophic uncontained engine failure over the Denver suburb of Broomfield shortly after takeoff. As horrified passengers on the Hawaii-bound flight updated their wills on cocktail napkins, citizens on the ground in Broomfield were running for their lives as giant cowling pieces and engine parts rained down on their neighborhood, causing minor damage but thankfully no injuries. In the wake of this nightmare scenario, United Airlines said it will immediately halt all flights of its fleet of 24 777s with this engine type. United is the only carrier in the U.S. to use this model. Sunday evening, FAA Administrator Steve Dixon said after consulting with my team of aviation safety experts about yesterday's 777 engine failure in Denver, I have directed them to issue an emergency airworthiness directive that would require immediate or stepped-up inspections of Boeing 777 airplanes equipped with certain Pratt & Whitney PW4000 engines. This will likely mean that some airplanes will be removed from service, he added. Dixon said that his team has reviewed all the available safety data following yesterday's incident, and based on the initial information, we concluded that the inspection interval should be stepped up for the hollow fan blades that are unique to this model of engine used solely on Boeing 777 airplanes. According to Dixon, the FAA is working closely with other civil aviation authorities to make this information available to affected operators in their jurisdictions. He said his team will be meeting with Pratt & Whitney and Boeing to finalize the details of the airworthiness directive and any accompanying service bulletins to ensure that the appropriate airplanes are included in the order. Meanwhile, Japan has requested airlines avoid using Boeing 777 planes with Pratt & Whitney 4000 engines for takeoffs, landings, and overflights in its territory until further notice. Japan said on Sunday that 32 passenger jets that use the same family of engines as the Boeing 777 involved in the Denver incident have been grounded. 13 aircraft are operated by Japan Airlines, and the other 19 planes are operated by All Nippon Airways. Korean Air has Pratt & Whitney 4090 engines on 12 777-200s and 4 777-300s. But more than half those planes are in storage due to the pandemic. Asiana Airlines has 9 777s with Pratt engines, but most of them are also grounded. Only 60 Pratt-powered 777-200 and 300 models are still flying globally, according to the analysts of Serum Data by George Ferguson at Bloomberg. Another 67 of the jets are sitting in storage, although they haven't officially been retired. This latest inspection could hasten the end of the earliest 777 models if the repairs turn out to be costly, Ferguson said. They are already out of favor because of their size and the pandemic. So as if that wasn't enough aviation news for a Saturday, in the same 24-hour period nearly 5,000 miles away in the Netherlands, a long-tail Aviation Boeing 747-400 freighter en route to JFK in New York suffered an uncontained engine failure of the number 1 Pratt & Whitney 4056 engine. Blade fragments were ejected from the engine coming down in the village of Mersenne, 2 kilometers past the end of the runway. At that time, the aircraft was climbing through just 1,400 feet. The flight crew initially declared a mayday and subsequently requested vectors for a holding pattern at 10,000 feet to dump fuel. The flight then diverted to Liège Airport in Belgium since the airport had a longer runway. A safe landing was made at 17:10 local time, 1 hour after takeoff from Maastricht Airport. However, as was the case in Denver, horrified citizens below in the village of Mersenne were also sent running for their lives, as this time 2 people were slightly injured and parked cars were damaged as machete-sized pieces of the number 1 engine's fan blades were hurled down to the village below. Wow, what a weekend. I'm thinking of adding titanium umbrellas to the Maximus Aviation merch shop after this weekend. But until then, you can still get some great swag, maybe a mug to drink your coffee or tea as you watch Maximus Aviation. If you want to head over there, you can find the link in the description. Okay, so I can't be the only guy noticing this coincidence that both aircraft have engines from the same Pratt & Whitney 4000 family, regardless of the hollow blades specific to the 777, because the engine on the 747-400 in the Netherlands didn't have the hollow blades, yet suffered the same result. Oh, and another thing I was thinking about. Boeing has to be breathing a somewhat sigh of relief. Sure, it's not good news that this happened to Boeing, but at least this time they can say, hey, we don't make the engines, we just put them on the plane. And that's why I think it's going to be a Pratt & Whitney problem this time, not a Boeing problem. At this point, as far as the FAA is concerned at least, it's contained to the 4077 engine model only. But seeing as they both have the same core family engine, it's not a stretch at least to consider there may be a connection here. But like I said, this is just an observation on my point, nothing more. But consider the odds of 2 Boeing aircraft with the same type of engines having the same issue on the same day. That's just crazy, right? So then what other airlines might want to take a closer look at their Pratt & Whitney 4000 engines just to be safe? Let's take a look. The Airbus 300 family, the 747-400, the 767-200 and 300, and the MD-11 all use the PW4094 model. This model has 38 fan blades. The Airbus A330 also uses the PW4000-100. This engine has 34 fan blades. And the engine on the 777-200 and 300 uses the PW4000-112 version with 22 fan blades. But look, I'm no engine guy. I'm just some clown with a YouTube channel who likes to talk about airplanes. But I did find it interesting that 2 planes on the same day with the same engine type would have the same catastrophic engine failure with very similar results. However, I do know many of you out there work in the industry and are far smarter than I. So I'm always interested in hearing your insights on all things aviation. But regardless, if it's a systemic problem with the 4000 engines or just limited to the 777 engines, it made for one crazy weekend in aviation. Well, that's it for me. I'm off to make titanium umbrellas. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe, like, share, and ring the bell. And as always, remember, leave the rubber on the runway and your troubles on the ground. And I will see you next time in the air. Yeah, this is Maximus.